All right, good evening, baseball fans. Good morning, whichever. It's midnight here on the East Coast, and there's Dwayne Martz. How you doing, Dwayne? All right, so just came from Legend Sports Universe for the final game of the regular season over there, and it was a good game. That's all I can say. Can't no spoilers, anything like that. Good game. All right, so we haven't seen this league in a while, and it's good to be back to it. The Castro McGregor Legends League or Myths League or whatever we're calling it. We've been doing exhibitions with the Bats League. I'm still tidying that up and getting that ready for something or other, including sending it to cousin Ken. So, what is the CML? It's been a while. Castro McGregor League, named after Ken Castro and myself. And with help from Dwayne Martz, picking the teams until 3 a.m. One crazy night and morning. This is 15 19th century teams in a league and 15 dead ball teams in a league. So there's going to be some doppelgangers here, but we don't give a damn about that. So we're past the All Star break now, with about 40 games to go in this season. And tonight we'll see the 1915 Phillies travel to Boston to take on the 1916 Red Sox. Pennant race, pretty tight in the 19th century, but really crazy in the dead ball side of things. The Phillies 1.5 games behind the 1902 Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Red Sox, even though they're a game below 500, they're just 7 games out. So both teams in the running. Philadelphia trying to catch the Pirates. So let's get to it. But a couple just quick notes right now. There's Bernie says my kind of game because the Red Sox are in it. Anyhow, so for anybody that doesn't have it, like the 2 or 3 of you that come to the baseball channels here and you don't have it right now, on DKSports.com, the Baseball History Collection is on sale for $20. And that is every retired baseball player. They're all in there. Peak slice of their career, and for $20, it's infinite possibilities. So don't sleep on it. I know he's doing the same for other sports as well, but yep, $20 for the Baseball History Collection, and what you can do with that is just mind-boggling. So, little love there for Action PC Sports. Also, just a couple little updates what I'm doing offline, baseball wise. Loving both Pocket Pennant Run and Dead Ball. The Dead Ball dice game is so much fun. It is so cool. Um, every season is available. You can create them from 1871 to 2020. Really love the way the game plays. Creating sort of mixed teams and stuff like that, though, is kind of could be better, but that's okay. It's great. So check it out. Even though, despite the name Dead Ball, it's every season available from 1871 to 2020. Um, the way that it's written, so Mr. Akers is apparently not only a baseball fanatic, he's a poet, writer, the whole thing. The game is amazing. It takes you, whether you're a baseball newbie or you're hardcore like those of us in these channels. It's a great system. It's very streamlined. I love them both. As far as Pocket Pennant Run, I'm drawing on a lot of resources and putting in some teams. Going to create some little project with that to. They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so kind of taking a cue from Dwayne Martz, I'm going to be doing some Pocket Pennant Run somewhere down the line, using Digital Diamond Baseball as a companion. And again, a big thank you to Dave Gardner, whose great videos on Pocket Pennant Run with Digital Diamond Baseball has really gotten me fired up. But I'm still having so much fun with the Pocket Pennant Run software, the PPR Manager. For $20, it's for the physical game. Best $20 you're going to spend, especially with that software. The print and play version, I think, is even cheaper. So yeah, pick that up. Dead Ball Baseball. I think when I buy it again, I'm going to buy the physical copy, but picked it up for $10. For $10, and it's an amazing system. You can play very basic. You can get a lot more advanced with it if you want. Um, it's just a wonderful. They're both wonderful games. With that being said, let's get to the ballpark. for today's game. And again, you guys, we saw a good game there on Legends Channel, and he's ready to start the postseason. So we're looking forward to that, definitely. All right, so here we go. The Phillies and the Red Sox. The Phillies are 35 and 25, and on the road they're 17 and 14. The 1916 Boston Red Sox overall 20 and 29, and at home at Fenway they are 15 and 12. It'll be Grover Cleveland Alexander versus Dutch Leonard, so should be a pretty good matchup. And I don't have a picture for Alexander. I should, but I need to update my photo file. All right. All right, so for the visiting Philadelphia Phillies of 1915, and from 1915, the first year the Phillies went to the World Series, and that would be their last until 1950. Possum Whitted in center field plays a mean center field. Milt Stock has a hot bat lately at third base, bats second. Fred Luderus, first baseman, bats third. In the cleanup spot, the dead ball home run king, Gabby Cravath, hot bat of late. Batting fifth in left field, Bills Beckers playing day-to-day. Batting sixth and catching, Rabbit Bill Killefer. Batting seventh, shortstop Bobby Byrne. And batting eighth, second base, Bert Niehoff. And pitching and batting ninth, one of the greatest of all time, Grover Cleveland Alexander. In terms of wins and losses, he's just 8 and 11 in the season, but he is carrying a 2.88 earned run average. 2.8 strikeouts per 9 innings, so not as dominant, but again, this is sort of an all-time greats league. All right. For the hometown of Boston Red Sox, leading off at first base, Dick Hoblitzel batting second. In right field, Chick Shorten batting third. In center field, Tilly Walker batting cleanup at third base, Larry Gardner batting fifth. In left field, Duffy Lewis batting sixth and catching, Pinch Thomas batting seventh. At short, Everett Scott batting eighth. At second base, the original Mike McNally, and batting ninth and pitching, Dutch Leonard, who is also at 8 and 11. His ERA a little higher than Alexander, 3.07. All right. Let me see if we have this set for above third. That would be really, really nice. I'm going to do above third. And I have no idea what wide is going to look like, so maybe we'll use overview and mess around. All right, let's get to it. There's Cousin Ken. So, Cousin, I said I know I'd be on in an hour, but it was a Buccos game on Legends Channel, so I couldn't miss my Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, here we go. And welcome back to the Castro-McGregor League. As I said, the Bats League did a lot of work on that. It's almost ready to go. I'm still experimenting with different years from that. All right, so Possum Whitted will lead it off. So far in the season, hitting .261 with 14 runs batted in. Dutch Leonard will finish his warm-up pitches, and we'll take a little buzz around Fenway. So the Phillies 1.5 games back of the 1902 Pittsburgh Pirates. We're ready to work. Here is Dutch Leonard dealing, and this one a little dribbler to short, and Possum Whitted flying down to first base will pick up the infield hit. So it looks like he might have turned his ankle, but he's saying he's staying in the game. So on the 2-2 pitch, the Phillies get a hit, and we are underway. Here's Milt Stock now. Plays the hot corner for the Phils, having a good season, hitting .306, 23 runs batted in, and a home run. Whitted, good lead off first. The lefty Dutch Leonard checks the runner and deals. Here's the wind in the pitch. Milt Stock swings. This one a dribbler to third, and they will get Stock. Possum Whitted moves into scoring position for Fred Luderus. Phillies first baseman having a fine season, hitting .291. He's batted in 26 with 3 home runs. Whitted with good speed at second. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And that one missing low for ball 4. So that's the 40th walk issued by Dutch Leonard in the season, and the first today. So 2 on for the Phillies and 1 out, and it brings up the home run king of the dead ball era, Gabby Cravath. hitting 349 on the season with 53 runs batted in and 12 home runs. Dutch Leonard lets it go. Kravitz swings, nowhere near a home run. This one twisting into foul ground on the first base side. Dick Blitzel makes the catch for out number 2. All right, here's Bills Becker playing with a minor injury, the lefty in there. 222 average, 29 ribbies, 4 home runs for Becker. Whitted at second, Luderus at first. Top of the first action here. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Becker swings, and this one sent out to right field, and Chick Shorten will eye it up and make the catch. So the Phillies, a hit and a walk, they strand 2. We go to the bottom of the first inning. The Philadelphia Phillies nothing, and the Boston Red Sox come into bat. I'm going to change this action camera to see what wide will look like. All right, leading it off then, as Grover Cleveland Alexander is ready to go, is Dick Blitzel. First baseman for these Red Sox, hitting 264, 15 runs batted in, and a home run. Aaron Reed is with us, cousin Ken Castro, Dwayne Martz, and Bernie Strom. Welcome in, gents. All right, Alexander with the 1-1 delivery to Blitzel. Blitzel swings, and this one twisting foul on the first base side, and near the stands, making the catch is Rabbit Killefer. 1 up, 1 down now. And the Red Sox will send up Chick Shorten. Shorten with a 268 average, 17 ribbies for him. Over Cleveland Alexander with the 0-2 pitch to Shorten. And Shorten swings, and he's going to dump this one into center field. Base hit. So the Red Sox picks up a hit here in the bottom of the first. Runner on, Shorten with average speed, and here's center fielder Tilly Walker. 21 ribbies for him, a 264 average. Alexander into his motion, the 1-0, swung on. This one grounded to short, 6-4-3, and that does it. Pitcher's best friend, the inning-ending double play. The Red Sox get a hit and get erased by the 6-4-3 double play. We go to the top of the second. We are scoreless here at Fenway, and there's Mike Silva. He says, "Good to see Beatles. Good to see you back at it. It's good to be back at it, my friend." And Dwayne's World, maybe. I like that instead of calling him the Streamin' Demon. All right, guys, welcome in. Really didn't want to put up a thing in Discord. I figured people were going to come. They're going to come. And Legends, if you're catching us later, you didn't need to hurry off. You never need to hurry off. Nobody does. All right, it'll be Rabbit Bill Killer for Bobby Byrne and Bert Niehoff to bat for Ken Castro's 1915 Philadelphia Phillies. Dutch Leonard ready to deal to Killefer. Killefer on the season hitting 249 with 13 runs batted in. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Killefer. And he swings. This one a dribbler to deep short. Killefer going down the line, and they get him by just a half a blade of grass. So 1 away now for Bobby Byrne. Bobby Byrne hitting pretty well this year, hitting 288 with 12 home runs, or 12 runs batted in, I should say. The southpaw Leonard delivers to Bobby Byrne. Byrne swings and gets good contact on this one, deep center field, but angling under it and reeling it in is Tilly Walker. So Tilly Walker, Red Sox secret weapon out there in center field, and we saw Tilly Walker do very well last year in Legends League. So fine center fielder. And here's Bert Niehoff now. Niehoff hitting 306, 10 runs batted in. Nobody on, 2 away, no score here. Top of the second, Dutch Leonard with the 1-0 pitch. Niehoff cuts on this one, liner to center field, but it's going to stay up and down into the glove of Tilly Walker. So the Phillies go in order, and we head to the bottom of the second. We are scoreless here at Fenway Park, and it will be Larry Gardner, Duffy Lewis, and Pinch Thomas. And there's Todd B. He says it's a doubleheader night. Mike says to Dwayne, he says, if I'm going to say hi to you 2 or 3 times a day, he's got to be creative. Is that, Dwayne says that's all it's been. You know, the big maxim when you're streaming is content is king. And Dwayne is certainly doing it up, and he's doing it the right way. He's going to be starting his World Series project pretty soon. Really excited about that one. All right, here we go. Third baseman now for the Boston Red Sox. will lead things off here in the bottom of the second. Larry Gardner is hitting .305 with 26 runs batted in. Bernie knows all these players. So here's the 2-1 pitch to Gardner. Gardner swings, and this one down the line to first. This one's going to get into the corner for extra bases. Gardner at least has 2. Gardner's going for 3, and he is going to have a triple. Didn't even have to slide in. The ball hitting the cutoff man. So here we go, an extra base hit now, and Boston threatening with Larry Gardner just 90 feet away, and here's Duffy Lewis. Lewis has batted in 31 this year, hitting at a 280 clip. Alexander from the stretch, and the 1-1. Duffy Lewis, this will get the run home. Fly ball into right field. This one actually pretty deep in the gap in right center field. Duffy Lewis looks like he's going to have a 3-bagger. Let's see if he's going to go for home. He is not. He'll settle for the triple. So back-to-back 3-baggers, and Boston leading the Phillies here in the bottom of the second, 1-0. The 1902 Pittsburgh Pirates, if they had televisions or PCs or whatever, will be watching this game with interest. 1.5 game lead on these Phillies. About 40 games to go in this project, so still plenty of time if you're a Phillies fan. Here's Pinch Thomas. Pinch Thomas getting the start tonight. He's been largely working in a pinch hitting role, but 20 runs batted in for him. 294 average and 163 at-bats. So Duffy Lewis at third. Alexander with the 2-2 pitch to Thomas. Thomas swings on this one, grounded to third, and they're going to look the runner back. Duffy Lewis is not going to run on that one. So 1 down, Lewis remains at third, and it brings up Everett Scott, the Boston shortstop, hitting 294, 17 ribbies, 2 home runs. Alexander from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and this is going to bring the run home. Base hit center field. So Duffy Lewis scores on the Everett Scott RBI single. And that's not what I wanted to happen there, guys. Just give me a second. It had nothing to do with the hit. It had to do with, yeah, what am I doing here? There we go. Turbo performance. There we go. All right. And that brings up Mike McNally now with 1 down, 2-0 Boston lead here in the bottom of the second. Alexander wheels and deals. The runner goes, and the throw to second in time. So Killefer now 47 for 95. Cutting down base runner, so base is empty. Alexander once again, here's the 1-2 pitch to McNally. McNally swings. This one, little floater into center field. That's going to get down. A little Texas leaguer job, base hit. So Boston now with 5 hits, plating 2 here in the bottom of the second. And it brings up the pitcher, Dutch Leonard. 2 Dutch Leonards in baseball. This is the earlier Dutch Leonard. Hitting 136, no DH in this league. 3 runs batted in for him. McNally leads off first. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And snap throw down to first by Killefer, and the ball gets away. That's going to be a throwing error, as Luderis, it gets under his glove, and he has to chase it down the line, and Mike McNally makes it to second. So let's have a look at that again. Killefer, good heads-up play, but just doesn't get the job done. All right. So Dutch Leonard back in the box now, and the Red Sox with 2 out and a runner in scoring position. The 1-2 pitch to Dutch Leonard. Leonard swings and lofted to left, ranging to his left, and pulling it down is Bills Beckert. But the Red Sox pick up 2 runs, and they have a 2-0 lead as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. As Cousin Ken picking up the rallying cry of Dwayne Martz, saying, "We don't need no stinking DH." Damn right. Bernie correctly reminding us that the 1915 Red Sox defeated this Phillies team in the World Series. Indeed, they did. Boston, of course, very, very tough in the 19 teens. All right, here is Old Pete. hitting 164, 5 ribbies, including a home run. Now, the last time we saw these 1915 Phillies play, Alexander had a good day at bat. And actually, that was in the 1915 World Series that game that we have to replay, unfortunately, because the internet blew up. All right, Dutch Leonard deals. Here is the wind and the pitch. Alexander, first pitch swinging. This one, just a one-hopper to third. And Larry Gardner fielding it beautifully, taking his time, firing across to Dick Blitzel for the 5-3 putout. One away, and we're back at the top of the order now for the Quakers, and it's Possum Whitted. He is 1 for 1 in this game. The Phillies have managed just one hit off of Dutch Leonard, who brings the 3-1 to Whitted. Whitted swings, and this one, a 2-bouncer to third, and that's another 5-3 putout. Larry Gardner earning the beer money today. It's Milt Stock now. Stock nothing for 1. The 1-0 delivery to Stock. Stock swings, and this one, just a little quail into right field, base hit. So that's 2 now for the Phils, and it brings up Fred Luderis. The 1-2 pitch, and the Phillies' first baseman bounces this one right to first, and Blitzel will take this to the bag unassisted. So the Phillies leave 1, and we go to the bottom of the third. It's the 1916 Boston Red Sox 2, the 1915 Philadelphia Phillies nothing. All right. So guys talking about what they're doing. Ken Castro, Mrs. Ken is away on the weekend for... So Ken, taking advantage, doing pizza and rolling up baseball and living the good life. Loving it, Cousin Ken. Sent me a great box score of a game that he did earlier today. It was an awesome one. Smokey Joe Wood, it was one of those games where the pitcher fans a lot of hitters and still loses the game. So, but it was a good one. So great box score. Thank you, Cousin. I always appreciate those. Back at the top of the order now for the Boston Red Sox. It'll be Blitzel, Shorten, and Tilly Walker. Alexander has yet to strike out a batter. Here's the 1-0 delivery to Blitzel. Blitzel cuts on this one. Fly ball into medium left field, and Bills Becker will make the catch. 1 up, 1 down now for the right fielder, Chick Shorten. He's 1 for 1 today for Boston. Alexander with the 0-2. And Chick Shorten rolls this one to first base, and Fred Luderis waving off Alexander will take that one. 3 unassisted. 2 up, 2 down now for the center fielder, Tilly Walker, who's 0 for 1. The wind and the 1-0 pitch to Walker. Walker swings, and this one into shallow right, and going out and picking that up is the second baseman, Fred Niehoff. So no runs, no hits, no errors. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Game moving along very quickly. The Red Sox 2 and the Phillies nothing. So, Ken Castro says he's down to Twizzlers for lunch. Oh my God, that's funny. That's funny. All right, here is Gavy Kravitz, and we do need a player of note tonight, and I have no idea who we're going to do yet, so we'll figure that out soon. All right, Kravitz is 0 for 1. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Kravitz. Popped out his last time up. Kravitz sends this to center field, ranging to his right, covering some distance is Tilly Walker. Tilly Walker, the place where extra base hits go to die here at Fenway Park. All right, Bills Becker now will have a go. He is nothing for 1. Dutch Leonard ready to come with it now. The 0-1 pitch. Becker in the lefty-lefty matchup grounds this one to short. Nice play there by Everett Scott. So 2 away for Rabbit Killefer. Bill is 0 for 1. Here's the 2-0. And this one, little grounder to short. It'll be a good morning, good afternoon, and good night. The Phillies go in order. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and Boston maintaining a 2-0 lead. Alexander will be facing Gardner, Lewis, and Thomas. All right, the 0-2 pitch to Larry Gardner. And Gardner pops this one up on the infield, and running in and making the catch near the mound is Bobby Byrne. Good hustle there by Bobby Byrne. So 1 away now for the left fielder, Duffy Lewis, who has an RBI in this game. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That big triple. And Lewis, this time, just a little squibber to first. And Fred Luderus has it for out number 2. Bases empty for Pinch Thomas, nothing for 1. The wind and the 1-2 pitch. Thomas will send this little squibber out in front of the plate, and Killefer will fire that down to first. So Boston also goes good morning, good afternoon, and good night. We head to the top of the 5th inning. The score remains the Red Sox 2 and the Phillies nothing. Dutch Leonard will face Bobby Byrne, Bert Niehoff, and Grover Cleveland Alexander. Good chat going on in the ballpark here tonight by this great family that we have here. All right. So Bobby Byrne is nothing for 1. Dutch Leonard deals. Here's the 1-1 to Byrne. Byrne swings on this one, and it's going to hang up there in right field. Chick Shorten making the catch, calling off Tilly Walker. So 1 away now as the second baseman for the Philadelphia Phillies stands in there, Bert Niehoff. He is nothing for 1. The wind and the payoff pitch to Niehoff. Swings, squibber to third, and quickly up with it is Larry Gardner. So 2 up, 2 down now for Grover Cleveland Alexander. And guys, make sure to catch Bernie Strom. He's taking a little holiday with his, as he said, with his lovely wife, and I'm sure she is. So Bernie's not going to be doing any broadcast, but still hanging out, checking in with everybody. But Bernie doing an awesome 1914 Boston Red Sox replay on Out of the Park Baseball, among all the other things that he's doing. So do check that out, guys. Along with Dwayne Mart's 1961 Braves and Yankees replay and the big World Series project. That's going to be mammoth and awesome coming up. And everything that everybody else is doing online and offline, love it all. And again, good game tonight on Legend Sports Universe for the final day of the regular season there. So, good one. All right. Here's Mr. Alexander, nothing for 1. Leonard deals the 3-1 pitch, and Alexander just a little polite fly ball out there to right field, and it'll be Chick Shorten all the way, gloving it. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left. Bottom of the 5th inning, and the Red Sox 2 and the Phillies nothing. The Red Sox getting their runs back in the 2nd. Philadelphia has managed just 2 hits off of Dutch Leonard. It's going to be a great one, Mike. It is going to be a great, great project. Can't wait. I had thought of something similar to what Dwayne's going to do. Mine had a little different twist, but Dwayne beat me to the punch with the World Series. So I'm going to do down the line, maybe after McGreevy 2 starts again with the All-Star Games starting in 1933. But Dwayne's World Series project is going to be fun. Can't wait. All right, here's Everett Scott, Mike McNally, and Dutch Leonard. Alexander into the wind. Here's the pitch to Everett Scott, and Scott will line this one into center field, but it's a diving catch by Possum Whitted, who's played some mean center field out there for the Philadelphia Phillies. And let's have a look at that excellent catch. That one goes all the way to the wall if Whitted doesn't get to it. Nice play, covering a lot of ground, and beautiful catch. All right. So Mike McNally now, he is 1 for 1 in the ball game. Alexander studies the batter, now has the sign from Bill Killefer, the 2-2 pitch to Mike McNally. And McNally swings. This one grounded deep to second, and gloving that one is Bert Niehoff, and he will go to Luderus at first for the 4-3 putout. So 2 Red Sox up, 2 Red Sox down, and it brings up the pitcher Dutch Leonard, nothing for 1. The 3-2 pitch to Leonard. Leonard cuts on this one. Oh, this one booted it short. Bobby Byrne kind of got it into his glove and then kicked it with the left spike. So that's his second error of the game. So Dutch Leonard is aboard. We'll see if this comes back to haunt the Philadelphia Phillies as Dick Hablitzel steps in. We're back at the top of the order for Boston. Hablitzel, nothing for 2. The 0-2 pitch. And this one grounded to short. This should end the inning. Indeed it does. Bobby Byrne will throw to second for the final out. So the Red Sox turned away. They strand one. We head to the top of the sixth. It's still Boston 2, Philadelphia nothing. And Clinton Park is joining us here at Fenway Park. Clinton, thank you for your generosity, by the way. And also, I don't know if you play it or not. I was just telling everybody at the beginning of the broadcast. Not only am I loving Pocket Pennant Run, that dead ball dead ball baseball game, dice, whatever, dead ball baseball with dice, is amazing. I was sitting at my lunch break today creating player sheets and cards, and I should show you guys that you can actually play the game on Steam. I'll show you how after this game. For anybody that plays that game, there's a way to play it on Steam. It's so cool. Even though you can't buy it on Steam, pretty nice, but you can play it. All right, Possum Witted will lead things off here in the top of the sixth inning. Dutch Leonard ready to go to work. Witted swings, and this one bounced to short. Witted going down the line, but they get him by a step. So Everett Scott with a nice play there at short. One up, one down for Milt Stock. He's had a hot bat of late, and he's 1 for 2 today. Dutch Leonard works to Stock. And Stock sends this liner into left field, but nice play by Duffy Lewis. So 2 up, 2 down now, and these Philadelphia Phillies getting a little bit frustrated at Dutch Leonard. Alexander had a bit of a rough second inning, giving up 2 triples, but has held Boston scoreless since then. But right now, those 2 big runs are holding for the Red Sox. Fred Luteris, one of the big bats here for the Phillies, 0 for 1. Bases empty. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Luteris. And this one, just a big league pop-up. Waiting for that one to come down, and that will come down into the glove of third baseman Larry Gardner. Side retired. We go to the bottom of the sixth, still 2-0. Watching Bernie's game the other day, and he was talking about a big league pop-up, and that one was a rain bringer. I think it took that ball like 10 seconds to come down. It was amazing. All right. Good to see Clinton gracing us with his presence here at Fenway. All right, it'll be Chick Short and Tilly Walker and Larry Gardner due up for the Boston Scarlet Hose. Still waiting for Alexander to set one down on strikes. Hasn't happened yet. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And the lefty Shorten sends this one into the gap in left center. This is going to go all the way to the Gem Razor sign. And Chick Shorten off to the races. Is he going to stop at second? He's not. He's going to go for 3. And the Boston Red Sox with their third triple of the game. All right, Chick Shorten just 90 feet away. And here is Tilly Walker. He is nothing for 2. Alexander from the stretch, and the 1-0 to Walker. Walker swings. This one grounded to second. They're going to go to first and get the out. And Chick Shorten will cross the plate with the Boston Red Sox third run of the game. All right, cleanup hitter now, or we should just say number 4 hitter Larry Gardner. 1 for 2. Alexander with a 3-2 delivery to Larry Gardner. Popped out his last time up, and this time grounded to third, and this one booted over there by Milt Stock. So the Phillies with 3 errors today, 2 by Bobby Byrne, 1 by Milt Stock, and Larry Gardner finds himself perched at first. 1 down, a run in for Boston here in the bottom of the 6th, and it brings up Duffy Lewis. Boston leading 3-0. Duffy Lewis with an RBI in this game, 1 for 2. The 2-0 pitch. Duffy Lewis swings, and this one fly ball to center field, ranging to his right, and pulling it down, can of corn, is Possum Witted. So 2 up, 2 down. Larry Gardner not advancing on the play, and here's Pinch Thomas, who is nothing for 2. Again, Thomas playing a very limited role here for the Boston Red Sox, just 165 at-bats as of this at-bat. And here's the pitch, and the runner goes. Larry Gardner is going to have himself a stolen base, so that's number 3 for him in the season. Larry Gardner will pick his spots. Killefer a little slow coming up with the throw, and Gardner able to pilfer the bag. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And Thomas swings, and this one gets good contact. This one way back. And Thomas, this one off the Gem Razor sign. And Pinch Thomas has himself an RBI double. Four nothing now, Boston, in the bottom of the sixth. And Everett Scott due up. Everett Scott with an RBI. Here's the pitch. Scott swings, and this one, is this going to make the gap? It will not. Nice play out there by Possum Witted to make a great running catch. However, the Boston Red Sox pick up 2 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error and a runner left in scoring position. The Red Sox adding a little bit of comfort here for themselves. It's 4-0 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. All right. So somebody had mentioned, you guys know I'm not a Strat player, but Samuel Smith, who does come to this channel, said that Stratomatic is coming out with some big announcement that there's going to be a new way to play Strat, something really big. Just curious if you guys have heard anything, you Strat players out there. Maybe what I'm hoping is a new way to play the game is that how Richmond has retired, but I doubt that's going to happen. All right, Gabby Kravitz, Beals Becker, and Rabbit Bill Killefer due up for the Phillies. They need to go to work here. Kravitz so far, the big bat in this Phillies lineup, has been quiet today. 0 for 2. Kravitz with 12 home runs on the season. Would like to jumpstart something here for these Quakers in the top of the 7th. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And they're not giving Kravitz anything to hit. This one outside, ball 4. So Philadelphia with a runner on. And we'll go back to action here. It's Beals Becker. So, yeah. So Dwayne also saying that he heard of a big announcement. Doesn't know what it is either. So I'm really, really curious. I have no idea what those are. So interesting what Strat is up to. All right. That being said, Beals Becker in the box now. Gavy Kravitz aboard at first, thanks to the walk. The 1-2 pitch to Becker. Becker, big swing and a miss. And that was a screwball by Dutch Leonard, and a beauty it was. So 1 away now. And here comes Bill Killefer, the catcher, 0 for 2. Leonard winds and deals. Killefer swings. This one grounder back to the mound. And going to second, Dutch Leonard, nice play. So Mike McNally limping around a little bit there as Kravitz comes in with a hard slide, but he's going to stay in. He said, I played dead ball. Go back to the dugout. All right, Killefer aboard, and Killefer pretty good speed for a catcher, but 2 down. Phillies trying anything to get jump started. So Kravitz walked and then erased. Killefer on in the fielder's choice. Dutch Leonard deals to Bobby Byrne, the 3-2 pitch. And Byrne dumps this one into right field for a base hit. So the Phillies pick up another hit, and Rabbit Killefer will move to third. So 3rd hit for the Phillies in this game. Runners at the corners, 2 down for Bert Niehoff. 0 for 2. Leonard from the stretch, the lefty deals the 3-1, and that's a walk. So Leonard now has loaded the bases. Leonard, who's stymied the Phillies thus far on 3 hits, seems to be having a little bit of trouble finding the plate. All right. And it's going to be old Pete, and they're going to let him bat, it looks like. Here it comes. Alexander swings, popped into foul territory, first base side, and over and making the play is first baseman Dick Blitzel. The Phillies leave them sold out. We're in the middle of the 7th, and it's the Red Sox 4 and the Phillies nothing. So Philadelphia would like to pull out something here, or they'd fall behind the Pirates. 2 full games, the 1902 Pirates. Bottom of the 7th now, and it'll be Mike McNally, Dutch Leonard, and then Dick Blitzel for the 1916 Boston Red Sox. McNally in today's game, a 1 for 2. Alexander deals. Here's the 1-2 pitch to McNally. McNally swings, and just a little flare into right field, and that one is going to be Bert Niehoff. He will take that one in the shallow pasture in right field. One up, one down for Dutch Leonard, who's nothing for two. Here's the 0-2 delivery to Leonard. Big cut and a miss. So coming with the sinker, and we need us a player of note. I just remembered that. We almost forgot. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to do it. We're going to, for a change, we're going to do a Hall of Famer. So pretty much easy to guess who that's going to be. Why the hell not? Since we're not doing a long baseball chat, hopefully when Bernie gets back from his holiday, we will have our quote-unquote weekend at Bernie's. And hopefully have Bernie on. We want to get Cousin Ken on here as well sometime. Have these guys talk about their baseball memories, and get Clinton Parks here maybe sometime as well. How about the Dutchman? Are you talking about Dutch Leonard, or what are we talking about here, Dwayne Martz? Are you, well, because I was saying a Hall of Famer, so you're talking about Hannes Wagner? Don't say Bustles. Gets Ken excited, says Todd B. Dick Hoblitzel's a great name. Indeed it is. All right, so, gotta move these. Been going through the great book. I don't know if I've ever talked about it yet. Another awesome one, the Team by Team Encyclopedia of Major League Baseball, and another brilliant research tool. We'll talk about that game some night. So tonight's player of note is one of the greatest of all time. So grab a beer. This isn't. I'm not going to say grab a beverage. This channel isn't for kids. Grab a beer, damn it, and let's hear the tale of one of the greatest of all time. So yes, indeed. All right, decent write-up, but not certainly anywhere near as long as the Gospel of St. Matthew, which has all the begats and all that kind of stuff. All right, here we go. Grover Cleveland Alexander. He was born February 26, 1887 in Elba, Nebraska, and he died November 4th, 1950 in St. Paul, Nebraska. Made his major league debut on the 15th of April, 1911 with the Philadelphia Phillies. He was a righty both ways, 6'1", 185. Grover Cleveland Alexander may not have been the only ball player named after a seated U.S. president, but he was the only one later to be portrayed in the movies by a future one. Hollywood's Ronald Reagan played him in the 1952 motion picture The Winning Team. His life story certainly made for an interesting script. The Nebraska-born Alexander was one of 13 children, 12 of them boys. He could throw a rock faster and straighter than any of them. After he traded rock for baseballs, he played semi-pro ball. In 1907, at age 22, he received a professional contract for $50 per month with Galesburg, Illinois of the Central Association. Alexander posted a fine first season, going 15-8, but his debut was marred by a beating that may have contributed to the bouts of epilepsy that affected him later in life. While trying to break up a double play, he took a rival shortstop's relay throw squarely on the head and did not regain consciousness for 2 days. Although he felt dizzy for the remainder of the season, his condition did not inhibit the top-level American Association Indianapolis Indians from acquiring him. But when his pitch plunked the manager in batting practice and broke 3 of his ribs, the club sent Alexander packing. Alexander recovered sufficiently in 1910 to win 29 games and pitch a phenomenal 15 shutouts for the Syracuse Stars of the Class B New York State League. They sold him to the Philadelphia Phillies at the bargain price of $750. Alexander's Philadelphia baptism came that same fall in the postseason City Series, at that time an annual institution against crosstown rival Athletics, who'd been crowned world champions. "You'll pitch 5 innings," manager Pat Moran warned. "There'll be murder, but you'll learn something." Moran was half right. There was learning to be done, but the rookie did the schooling, giving up no runs, no walks, and no hits. His first full season proved the value of the investment as Alexander broke in like few rookies before or since. He paced the league with 28 wins, 31 complete games, 7 shutouts, and 367 innings pitched. while finishing second in strikeouts and fourth in earned run average. 4 of his shutouts were in succession, including a 12-inning, one-hit, 1-0 victory against Cy Young. Alexander's 28 wins remains the modern rookie record. He was just getting started. From 1915 to 1917, he enjoyed seasons as good as any ever posted, winning 31, 33, and 30 games with earned run averages of 1.22, 1.55, and 1.83, respectively. He became the only player ever to win the pitching Triple Crown: wins, earned runs, average, and strikeouts 3 years running. No one since has pitched more than the 38 complete games Alexander recorded in 1916. Editorial comment, and nobody ever will. No one has since surpassed his 33 wins in 1916, and only Bob Gibson in 1968 has since bettered Alexander's 1.22 earned run average of 1915. In 1915, he also led the Phillies to their first pennant of the modern era. He threw 4 one-hitters that year, another record, all the while pitching in tiny Baker Bowl with its seemingly minuscule distance between first base and the right field wall. As if to cap his awesome 3-year display, Alexander won a September 1917 Labor Day doubleheader at Ebbets Field, defeating Brooklyn 5-0 and 7-3. The Phillies, fearful that Alexander and catcher Bill Killifer would be lost in a military draft, unexpectedly sold them both to the Chicago Cubs after the 1917 season for $60,000. Indeed, Alexander spent most of the 1918 season with General Pershing's American Expeditionary Force in France, where he served as a sergeant in artillery and suffered from shell shock. He returned home with partial loss of hearing and ever-worsening seizures. Epilepsy was just one of Alexander's problems. Drinking was another, and it was even more severe after Armistice Day. And interesting that we picked that, as we are now on the East Coast in what used to be called Armistice Day. Anyhow, I hadn't even realized that when I picked Alexander, but here we go. His face looked like a piece of raw meat in the later stages of his career, one observer wrote, and his managers often had to check with his teammates to see if they thought old Pete could make it that day. Nonetheless, Alexander was a more than reasonably effective hurler for the Cubs. Twice he won more than 20 games. In 1920, he achieved another Triple Crown, going 27-14 with a 1.91 earned run average and 173 strikeouts. And in 1923, he went 22-12. However, on June 22, 1926, the Cubs gave up on him. Manager Joe McCarthy, and we've talked about McCarthy as not being the most understanding of managers, anyhow, tired of Alexander's bouts with the bottle and his perceived insubordination, sold him to the Cardinals for the $4,000 waiver price. In St. Louis, Alexander proved he still had some pitching in him. His most dramatic moment came not long after the trade. I love this story. In the 7th game of the 1926 World Series, he had already pitched complete game victories in games 2 and 6. In Game 7 at Yankee Stadium, the score was 3-2 in favor of the Cardinals when St. Louis starter Jesse Haynes developed a blister on his finger and had to be removed from the game in the 7th inning. Cardinals manager Rogers Hornsby summoned Alexander from the bullpen. True to form, Alexander had not recovered from celebrating his victory the previous day and had to be shaken awake. When Alexander took the mound, the bases were loaded with 2 men out. Tony Lazzeri, who drove in 114 runs as a rookie during the season, lashed a pitch down the left field line that just missed being a grand slam. Pete then struck him out in one of the greatest confrontations in World Series history. Alexander made the score stand the next 2 innings, and the Cardinals had their first World Championship. Alexander won 21 games for the Cards in 1927, but he continued drinking heavily, leading the club to release him at the end of a mediocre 1929 season. He signed with the Woeful Phillies, but went 0-3 before being released again. He pitched briefly in the Texas League, then hooked up with the barnstorming House of David, pitching for the Bearded Wonders until 1938. After retiring from baseball, Alexander lived from hand to mouth, debilitated by even worse bouts of alcoholism and epilepsy. his 1938 induction into baseball's Hall of Fame and the plaque that came with it brought him little solace. "You know I can't eat tablets or nicely framed awards," he told Fred Lieb. "Neither can my wife. But they don't think of things like that." So for Grover Cleveland Alexander, 373 wins, 208 losses, a winning percentage of .642, 696 games, 90 shutouts, 5,190 innings pitched, 951 walks, 2,198 strikeouts, and a lifetime earned run average of 2.56. You know what? If there was ever a story of grit, it has to be Grover Cleveland Alexander. Epilepsy, alcoholism, shell shock. So unlike Christy Mathewson, who was also a victim of the First World War, Mathewson never served any time in the trenches. He and Ty Cobb were captains in the First World War, but Alexander did serve in the trenches. And of course, we know shell shock now is post-traumatic stress disorder. Alexander comes back and still pitches brilliantly. And, you know, maybe one of the other reasons that I love dead ball baseball so much is, you know, you ask yourself, and please pardon a little bit of an editorial here. I mean, it is Veterans Day after all. What hell Alexander would have gone through in those trenches on the Western Front, and to come back and just grit it up. And it's such an inspiration and one of the greats. And I easily mention Alexander in the same breath as Walter Johnson. All right, thanks guys for listening into that. And we will lead it off, or not lead it off here. We have two down, and here's Dick Hoblitzel and the great Alexander ready to deal. Here is the 1-2 pitch. And Hoblitzel bounces this one to second, and that one will be gloved by Bert Niehoff, and he will go to first for the out. 3 up, 3 down for the Red Sox, and we go to the top of the 8th. Philadelphia still trails Boston 4-0. Cooney 007 joining us in the chat. Yep, the name of the chapter, Push 'em Up, Strikes Out. Another great gutsy performance, of course, in the World Series by the other pitcher I just named along with Alexander. Read about Walter Johnson in the 1924 World Series. Guts as well. But Alexander, wow. Whew. Guys today get a blister in their finger and they're on the DL for 60 days. Alexander gets shell-shocked. He's an epileptic and an alcoholic. And, wow. All right, here's Possum Witted, followed by Milt Stock and Fred Luderus. Yeah, guys, I gush over these great players that shouldn't be forgotten, and always will. The 3-2 pitch now to Possum Witted. And Witted swings. This one grounded to second, and this is an easy play for Mike McNally. So the 4-3 put out, 1 up and 1 down. Clinton Parks says he's going to visit his dad's grave tomorrow, 28-year veteran. So may his memory be eternal, Clinton. All right, here is Milt Stock now. And Clinton, on this Veterans Day, we thank you for your service. Dutch Leonard deals to Milt Stock and anybody else here that was in the military. The 1-0 pitch, and Milt Stock will have himself a line drive base hit to left field. Could this be the start of something for the Philadelphia Phillies in the top of the 8th? They got a lot of work to do. It's 4-0. 0-4-3 for the Phillies, 4-7-0 for the Red Sox. And lefty Fred Luderus, quiet bat today. He is 0-for-2. The 0-1 pitch, Luderus swings, and this one a dribbler past the mound, and Luderus is going to have himself an infield single. There was nothing that Everett Scott could do with that ball. So the Phillies now trying to mount something with 1 down in the top of the 8th, 2 on. Speedy Milt Stock at second and Fred Luderus at first. And here is Gavy Kravitz. A swing of the bat, and Kravitz puts the Phils right back into this game. Kravitz 0-for-2 today. The 3-1 pitch, and this one missing. So for the second time, they're pitching around Gavy Kravitz, and You really can't blame Dutch Leonard for that. And now we have a pinch hitter for the Philadelphia Phillies, Dode Paskert, hitting a paltry 188, seeing just limited action in the season. 10 runs batted in, so 117 at bats. Stock at third, Luders at second, Kravitz at first. Here is the pitch. And Paskert sends this one to short, and they're going to come home to cut down the run, and the throw to first, no double play, but they got the big run. So base is still loaded, and now 2 away, and Killefer needs a safe hit. Killefer has yet to homer in the season. He's batted in 13. Dutch Leonard from the stretch, and the 1-2 to the Rabbit. Killefer swings, and this one lined to center field. This will go down for a base hit, and the Phillies are going to get on the board, the throw home, and they get him. Oh, great outfield assist out there by Tilly Walker, but Philadelphia does get on the board. 4-1, bottom of the 8th. Let's look at that outfield assist from Tilly Walker in center field. So, tough situation. The Dutch Leonard gets out of it with minimal damage. And the throw home. And nice play. They got him. All right, bottom of the 8th, and the Red Sox will send up Chick Shorten, Tilly Walker, and Larry Gardner. Shorten having a good game today. He is 2 for 3. Alexander deals the 3-0 to Shorten. And this one missing low and outside. So first walk issued by Alexander. Chick Shorten aboard for Tilly Walker. Nothing for 3. Walker does have a run batted in. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Walker tried to check his swing, and they say he did not go around. So Alexander now with 2 on and nobody out. And here's Larry Gardner. 1 for 3 for the Boston third baseman. Alexander deals. Here's the 0-1. And Larry Gardner lines this one into center field. Base hit. And they're going to stop Chick Shorten there at third. So bases loaded, nobody out. And here is Duffy Lewis. So he could blow this wide open. When we get to the Phillies' 9th, we will see what the Phillies are going to decide to do here. We could see a pinch hitter, so hang in there. It'll be Bobby Byrne, Niehoff, and Alexander. So the bottom of the order due up for the Phillies. Alexander in the 0-1 pitch. This one swung on. Fly ball, left field, back toward the Calvert sign, and making the catch out there. And they're not sending the runner, so Possum Witted making the catch. So it looks like we have a defensive change here that I missed. Yep, Dode Paskert stays into play centered, and Possum Witted moved to left, so it's no wonder Chick Shorten didn't go. Witted with a good arm out there. All right, 1 down. Grover Cleveland Alexander concentrating now as Pinch Thomas in here. 1 for 3 with a run batted in. Base is still loaded. Infield playing in, trying to cut off that run at the plate. Here's the pitch. Thomas swings, fly ball, center field, back on this one, and making the catch is Dode Paskert, and they're still going to hold Chick Shorten. So Grover Cleveland Alexander 1 out away from pitching himself out of a serious jam here in the bottom of the 8th, baseball fans. Everett Scott now 1 for 3 with a run batted in. The 2-2 pitch. Scott swings, and this one sinking into center field, and this one getting over the head. This one misplayed by Dode Paskert, and this could be stick a fork in it as 2 runs come in. 3 runs come in, so that's a double by Everett Scott, and it's a 7-1 Boston lead. Oh my goodness. So there was a little bit of a misjudging, I think, out there in center field. It looked like the ball was going to sink a little bit. So Paskert coming in on it, and it ends up going over his head. So he's chasing it out there in center field. So 2 in, and it's 7-1. And here's Mike McNally, 1 for 3, and the 1-2 pitch. McNally swings. This one bounced to first. 1 batter too late. But the Red Sox pick up 3 runs, 2 hits. They strand 1 in scoring position. We go to the top of the 9th. And it's the 1916 Red Sox 7, the 1915 Phillies 1. So Phillies still obviously in the pennant race after this, and Boston looking to get up to 500. Bobby Byrne, Bert Niehoff, and we will see what the Phillies do as far as Demery. He was in there right now in the pitcher spot. Bobby Byrne is 1 for 3. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Byrne swings, and this one, a gapper into right center, going all the way to the wall. Extra bases for Bobby Byrne. Is he going to stop at second? Yes, he will. So leadoff double here for the Philadelphia Phillies. Their 7th hit of the contest. And here's Bert Niehoff, who is nothing for 2. Dutch Leonard checks Bobby Byrne, who has some speed at second. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Niehoff swings, and this one gapped into right center. Here come the Philadelphia Phillies. Niehoff's going for 2, and that will definitely score the run. So RBI double. Bobby Byrne crosses the plate with the second Philadelphia Phillies run. It's 7-2, top of the 9th, and we will have a pinch hitter now, Ed Burns. 66 at bats for Burns, hitting 197 with 3 runs batted in. Bert Niehoff with superb speed on at second. Will the Phillies try something risky? Here's the 2-0 pitch, and Burns swings. This one just a harmless grounder to third. Gardner looking Niehoff back and throws on to first for out number 1. Here's Possum Whitted now back at the top of the order. Now in left field, Whitted 1 for 4. Leonard with the 3-1 pitch, and this one missing for ball 4. So 2-1 now for Philadelphia, and it brings up Milt Stock. Stock 2 for 4. Here's the pitch. Stock swings, and this one just a little bouncer to first baseman Dick Cablitzo, and the Philadelphia Phillies down to their last batter. It'll be Fred Luderis. 2 in scoring position here for the Phils, and 1 run in here in the 9th. The 1-2 pitch. Fred Luderis sends this to center field, ranging to his right, and pulling it down and making the catch is Tilly Walker. Ball game over, and the Boston Red Sox take care of the Philadelphia Phillies 7-2. Let's look at our recap. So the 1960 Red Sox beat the 1915 Phillies 7-2. Boston pitcher and Holly, Minnesota native Dutch Leonard led the way. In 9 innings, Leonard surrendered 8 hits while striking out 1 and walking 5. He allowed 2 runs. The triumph puts Boston at 29-29 for the season. The Red Sox got a big hit from shortstop Everett Scott in the bottom of the 8th. Scott pounded a bases-clearing double to center, his 8th double of the season, to put the Red Sox ahead 7-1. So for the 1916 Red Sox, who improved to 29-29, 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors. The 1915 Philadelphia Phillies fall to 35-26, 2 runs, 8 hits, and 3 errors. Player of the game is Dutch Leonard. Grover Cleveland Alexander goes to 8-12, 7 2/3 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, walked 2, struck out 1. Al Demery worked a third of an inning. Dutch Leonard goes the distance for the Red Sox and improves to 9-11, 9 innings pitched, 8 hits given up, 2 runs, both earned, walked 5, struck out 1. So base stealing just 1 in this game. Larry Gardner picked up a steal. Everett Scott was caught stealing. We had a nice outfield assist there from Tilly Walker, getting Gavy Kravitz at home. Errors, story in this game. Bobby Byrne, Milt Stock, and Bill Killefer for the Phillies. So there we go. Let's leave this game. And yeah, wow. A Red Sox fan says, smack that like button. How you doing, Al? Good to see you. Yeah, the fat lady was warming her voice for sure. All right, Al. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Thank you, Dwayne. All right. We're just going to go ahead and auto-play this one. 1906 White Sox, 1908 Cleveland Naps. The White Sox are 31-29. The Naps are 31-27. Ed Walsh versus Heine Berger. We're just going to quick play this one. And this is going to be a Cleveland Naps victory, 3-0. So Berger tossing the 4-hit shutout. Ed Walsh takes the loss. All right, the 1907 Tigers, the 1904 Highlanders. This will be George Mullen, Jack Cheesebro. We'll just quick play that one as well. And the Tigers shut out the Highlanders 5-0. And Germany Schaefer with a home run for the Tigers. And I think that's all the games for this day. Nope, it's not. Wait, hang on. We got some 19th century business to take care of, which we've got to save this one for Cousin Ken just because it's Pud Galvin and Al Spalding. So we're not going to advance. There's some good matchups here in the 19th century. All right, so let's look at our standings. And then I'll show you guys how to play dead ball dice baseball on Steam, and then we'll get out of here. All right. So first in the Radbourne Castro League, the 1894 Baltimore Orioles just a game up on the 1899 Brooklyn Superbas. 1.5 out are the 1899 Philadelphia Phillies. So both Phillies teams, the 19th century and the dead ball Phillies, doing really, really well in this league. At 4.5 out, the 1888 Pittsburgh Alleghenies, and all I'll just say is Ed Morris in relation to, well, there you go. The Wolverines of 1887, 7.5 out and 9 back are the 1888 Giants. Everybody else in double digits. Really close, however, even closer in the dead ball side, the Wagner-McGregor League, if you will. The 1902 Pirates with a 2-game lead on the 1915 Philadelphia Phillies, and then 2.5 back in third. The 1916 Brooklyn Robins. The 1914 Miracle Braves just 3 back. The 1905 Giants 3.5 out. The 1908 Naps 4 back. The 1907 Tigers 5 back. The 1906 White Sox 6 back. 6.5 out. The 1916 Red Sox 7 games back. The 1913 Nationals, 1910 Athletics, and then the last single digits out would be the 1918 Cubs. So really, really, really tight on both sides, but especially on the Wagner dead ball side of things. So fun stuff. All right, sleep well, Al. Thanks for coming in. Clinton says, since Greg Zillan died, his family has let Tremaine 509 take over the games. You may want to ask him if he's ever his desire to bring Valhalla. Oh man, I loved that game. Valhalla was so excellent. Yeah, I might have to do that. Thank you, Clinton, for that. Both that sad news, so may his memory be eternal, but knowing that. All right, so let's save this game, and then we're going to jump into something else in Steam. It's a program that you do need called Tabletop Simulator. All right. So, and let's let this stop, and we will just type in table. Tabletop Simulator is really cool. There's also a thing called Tabletopia, but Tabletop Simulator is kind of the thing. It's going to have some goofy music, but this is amazing. And you can play dead ball baseball on it. So if you have the game, well, even if you don't, but still, here's a way to play it. But I'm going to do it with Digital Diamond Baseball. This just recreates if you were playing it tabletop. So there are literally just tens of thousands of games on Tabletop Simulator. You can play this online against one another. It'd be fun maybe sometime if there's somebody else here that has Tabletop Simulator to play a little dead ball baseball together. I think it'd be fun. Happy music. Da, 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 da. All right. So what you do is you go to Create. This has a huge Steam workshop, but this we're not going to get into Tabletop Simulator how to do it. Go to Create. Go to Single Player, and then any game to which you subscribed, it will be in here. So actually, there it is, Dead Ball. So we're going to go ahead and load up Dead Ball. You can see here, though, I'm pretty much a long-time subscriber to the Tabletop Simulator. It's really amazing. So we're going to go ahead and load it. It's going to give us a couple errors because there's just certain things it's trying to load in that are no longer part of this mod. So we're just going to go X and X and X and X and X. And there it is. So over here, you can actually type in your players and then put in their dead ball ratings. So for your visitors, your home, whatever, there's your playing field, keep score of outs, innings. There is a little cheat sheet up here for it. You even have little meeples that you can move around and all the required dice to play dead ball baseball, which is just a basically an RPG dice set. And then down here, you just click next batter. It'll just move all the way down. There's no AI or anything like that. So, but it does give you, and you can kind of move it around, have all kinds of nice little, and I like the fact that it's out in the field. That's kind of cool, right? But yeah, so there is a way to play dead ball baseball on Steam. Tabletop Simulator is free. It is free. I got the paid version, but you can get this game for free, and there's tons of stuff you can do on it. And dead ball baseball is one of them. So there it is. Right now, what I just threw together. I think it was a 1971 Pirates, 1975 Reds. I didn't go back to dead ball era to play it, but it's fun, Ken. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot deeper than I thought it would be. Actually, I know you said it had started life as sort of a party game, but you can get pretty deep with that game. I really, really like it. In fact, in other cards and dice news, Pocket Pennant Run, there's a new game in development called, I believe it's called Next Inning or Next Pitch or something like that. So, and also I guess the third edition is going to be out very, very soon, but they're already developing another Pocket Pennant Run. But I love Dead Ball Baseball. Maybe some night what we'll do here on the channels, I'll do a Dead Ball game, Dead Ball Baseball game, and we'll just we'll play it out on Tabletop Simulator just so you can get a sense of how the game works. I'm not showing this up here because it's really, really a cheat sheet, and I don't think that would be fair. So in fact, we just you can see you have both sides of it or whatever. But I mean, guys, for $10 for the print and play version of this and the website, when you can create, again, any team from 1871 to 2020, and I figured out what I did wrong with it. So to save you guys some angst, whatever you want to say. So when it creates the batters, don't grab the whole roster. You just want to grab like the 15 players that you need or whatever. What was happening is I was trying to pull all the batters and all the pitchers. It was basically blowing up the database, the Boolean operator. So I figured that out in short order. So it will work. But this is really, really nice. You basically in this game you select the dice you want to roll, and see here the little dice he's rolling, and then there we go. And then you can just of course reset the dice, boop, and there they go back. But it's fun. It's really, really fun. I love the game, and I was pretty stoked to find this on here, so just to play around with it. There he goes. Cooney says 7 out, line away. So yeah, as you guys know, I mean, if you know Dead Ball Baseball, you can play this game really, really quickly. Just the basic rules. The way it rates players is really cool. I really, really love the game, and thanks to you guys getting the cards and dice bug and wanting to play again. So, yep, good stuff. That's pretty much it for me tonight, guys. I want to thank everybody for coming in. It's Cooney007, the heart and soul of this channel, Cousin Ken Castro. Yeah, oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you guys want to see that? I don't want to do that to this game though, because I love baseball. But yeah, let me show you guys. This is really, really fun. All right, so we're going to back to the main menu. So you'll see you're playing a game and you're just right in fine geek fashion. Here's what you can do. So I didn't know that you had this. Dwayne. We should play some Dead Ball Baseball or something. I don't care. I don't know. Let's say we're playing Massive Darkness, which is an awesome game, by the way, or Massive Darkness 2. So we're going to load in Massive Darkness 2. Give it some time. There it is. This is a big, big, big dungeon crawler. Oh my god. And I should note, guys, that the games I have on here I have actually bought. But that being said, there you go. So you're playing Massive Darkness and you're upset. Watch this. Flip the table. And there we go. So all geeks know that. And boom. There it goes. So you get upset at a game, just flip the table. All right. Anyhow, Sakuni 007, Cousin Ken Castro, Dwayne Martz, YouTube Network. Mike Silva, thank you, buddy. Clinton Parks, thank you. Our Red Sox fan, also for coming in as always. And so we had very, very active chat tonight. Todd B. Aaron Reed was here. I'm sorry I didn't see you here, Aaron. Bernie Strom, enjoying a holiday out in Palm Desert, I believe. And I think that's pretty much everybody. So, nice little small crowd, but a good one. And destroying something or other. So there we go. All right, Dwayne Martz was the first one in the ballpark tonight. Thank you guys very, 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 very much. And we'll see you next time around the batting cage. Good night.